One really helpful technique that you can use to do a targeted search in PubMed is using the MeSH terms. MeSH stands for medical subject headings, and these are the words that are used by PubMed to officially describe what articles are about. There's essentially a dictionary of terms that have been discussed and approved to be used across all of the different articles that come into this database, or at least many of them, particularly those in Medline. In order to find these terms, we use the MeSH database under the Explore heading. There's also a link to the MeSH database at the bottom of every PubMed page in the footer. Now we can search for a term and see what term comes up. Now I'm interested in learning about the use of pre-exposure prophylaxis in women, so I'm going to start by looking for PrEP. Let's see what we find. There are 37 options that they think I might mean. The top one looks like the right one to me. That's pre-exposure prophylaxis. I click into it. It shows me the definition of it, the year that it started to be used in PubMed. This is important because you will likely not find anything prior to this year if this is the year that it was introduced. It's used from that point forward, not retroactively. Then there are subheadings. These are modifiers to the term, so I could look only at methods or trends or ethics of pre-exposure prophylaxis. I usually leave this blank unless I find that I'm really being overwhelmed by search results. I could restrict it to the MeSH major topic. Each article tends to have just one or two major headings that they think the article is really substantially about. And I could ask it to limit the search to just this term, not to anything narrower. MeSH terms are arranged in a hierarchy, kind of like a family tree, and it will automatically search the term and any narrower term that may come beneath it in the hierarchy. If I only wanted this term used, then I could check this box. Again, I tend not to check it unless I'm getting overwhelmed by search results or find that I'm getting a lot of irrelevant results. These are the entry terms listed here. These are the terms that if I used them as a keyword, then it would look for them as a keyword across the record of the item, but it would also map to this term and look for this exact term in the MeSH field specifically. That's what we call automatic term mapping, and it's one of the things that helps PubMed be really effective as a search engine. You can also see how it was previously indexed. So previously we would have looked at prevention and control of specific diseases as opposed to using pre-exposure prophylaxis as a term. It looks like that was used from 1972 through 2014. So if I was looking for articles published in that time frame, that's the kind of term I would use. Then you can see where it falls within the hierarchy here. It actually shows up twice, both times under primary prevention. The difference seems to be whether it comes through health services or public health. If I want to use this term, this looks like the right one to me, then I click Add to Search Builder, and it populates the term in my PubMed Search Builder. Here we have the exact term in quotation marks, so it will search exactly this, and it will search it in the MeSH field. Now I can keep searching for additional terms, and it will remember my PubMed Search Builder as I go. So now I can look for women. There are lots of different types of women. Here I'm going to click in, see the definition. This is human females as cultural, psychological, sociological, political, and economic entities. That's fine. I could also look to see maybe female is a term that I need to use. Here's the term. Very basic, seems to just be a general term. I might use both of these. So I'll add this to my search builder. I'll go back to the women item as well. Click there. You can see that there are lots of narrower terms as well, and that's fine. I'll add this to the search builder. Now it automatically used and in between each of these terms. I might adjust that a little bit because I'm fine with female or woman being used. So I'm going to just get rid of some of these parentheses and just edit it directly in this box. So here we'll use pre-exposure prophylaxis as a MeSH term and either female or women, again, both as MeSH terms. Now I click Search PubMed, and we get 2,283 results. That's quite a lot. As you know, you can limit your search results here on the left-hand side. lots of different options there. And if I needed to, I could even edit this again and use an additional keyword. You can mix and match between MeSH term searches and keyword searches. Now, if I wanted to compare this to just a keyword search, I could do that. I could say prep and women and see what results come up. Here I get 2,071, so it is actually a lower number. Oftentimes keyword searches are a larger number because it's searching across the entire record of the item. If I wanted to match it a little bit more closely to the MeSH search that I just did, I could do so and do women or female, do that search again. And you can see that actually really expanded my search. It pretty much doubled it. Now I have over 4,000 results. So that is quite a jump in numbers just by expanding using that OR term. So I recommend that you play around with MeSH terms. Some subjects are really well represented using those subject headings. Some are not as well documented that way. So you may want to use MeSH terms for some of the concepts in your question and keywords for others, and you can use a combination of MeSH terms and keywords as you see fit, depending on how many or few results you're getting.